Hello and welcome today. My name is Lisa and today is International Yoga Day. It is recognized on June 21st. And so I thought, what not better be a day to practice some yoga and share a little yoga with you. So we are going to take ourselves through a practice here that you can do right at home. That's where I am. You can grab a mat. There's no props that are necessary, so we can get started. Let us begin by coming to stand in mountain pose. Spread the arms out and wide, so almost like you can receive right here as you are standing. Allow yourself to drop your gaze down your nose or even close your eyes. Start to feel the connection of your feet to the floor. Recognizing that we've got our toes in the front, our arch in the middle, and our heel in the back. Root your feet down into the floor. And as you do, continue to stand nice and tall out of your roots. You may want to add just a small little smile to your face. Bring a little bit of awareness to your mouth. And of course, when we add a little smile, we get a little side smile up by our eyes. Connecting to your inner world today and checking to see how you're feeling. Go ahead and take some nice deep breaths here. Maybe bringing the hands now to reside on the chest and on the belly. Feeling the breath underneath both of your hands, at the chest, maybe down, moving into the lower abdomen. Arrive on your mat. And then just take one more inhale and exhale out. And then bat your eyes open if they were closed. Taking your gaze forward. We'll let our arms come out, reaching up. Take a nice deep breath in. And exhale, bring those hands, just bring them right down the center. Let's do that again. Reach the arms up nice and high. Deep breath in. Exhale, draw that line down. One more time. Here we go. Reaching the arms up nice and high. Take up lots of space. And then as you exhale, drop those hands all the way down. Keep the hands now at the heart center. See if you can connect your thumbs all the way to that sternum. And then draw the elbows up so they're closer to shoulder height. See if you can add a little pressure into those two hands as they press against each other. Feel the tips of each of your fingers as well as your thumb as you stand here, engaging those arms, waking them up for the day. Excellent. And then let the hands cut all the way through down to the waist, coming back to our mountain pose. From here, let's take our legs nice and wide on the mat, so wider than hip width apart. So take your legs nice and wide. Hands can come around the sides of the hips or even through the front hip creases. As you stand here, really reach that chest forward and draw the shoulder blades back, almost like you're trying to draw your chest forward towards your screen. Good. And then hollow out the torso, draw the belly button in, and then round the shoulders. Let the chin, nose, and forehead look down. Tipping that pelvis. You might feel a bit of a scoop of the pelvis underneath. Good. Let's move from the pelvis. Tip your pelvis back. Let the belly come forward. Heart reaches forward. Draw your shoulder blades back. Take a glance up to the ceiling. Good, and then we'll move through our wide-legged standing cat-cow. We're rounding like a cat, and then we're opening and dropping our belly forward, coming into our cow. Notice the back body here as you round forward. Can you feel a gentle tug of the skin on your upper back? And then as you open up and come through, do you feel those shoulder blades now drawing in towards each other? Make your movement as slow or as fast as feels good for you and your body. And know that the breath is always there throughout your practice. So we're exhaling potentially as we fold forward. Inhaling as we let the heart come forward, drawing those shoulder blades back. Take a moment to connect into your feet and notice if they are still rooted into the ground, even though that they're wider apart at this point. Good. And on our last cow forward, tuck the tail, pull that belly button in, drop the shoulders, rounding forward. We're going to let the hands slide down towards the kneecaps, round and round and round. And then let yourself round yourself all the way down, dropping the torso down. Hands are sliding down the shins. Maybe they reach the ankles, the feet, or the floor. Coming into a standing, wide-legged forward fold. Be really careful with yourself here. We don't have to fall too far forward, knowing that the hands can support us at any junction to hold us where we are comfortable. A slight bend in the knees is always helpful as well. And you might notice as you bend the knees, you might start to lean a little bit further forward. Let the head just totally hang loose here. Maybe give it a little shake from side to side or forward and back. As you slowly notice yourself folding a little bit closer and a little bit closer towards the thighs. Let the head allow it to drop a little further. Hands may have moved from the shins to the feet to the hands. Support yourself in whatever way you need. Gravity is allowing us to come forward. However, we want to have still some control in our movements. We're not going to let gravity just let us completely collapse. Have this a bit active, so a give and take, so to speak, with gravity here as we hang out. Alrighty, from here, walk your hands over to your right foot. We'll come more into a side stretch here, keeping both legs relatively straight still. We're not bending deeply into one or the other. And then we'll walk our hands back to the center, coming to catch the left foot. Little pause, a little hold, a little further drop maybe. Let yourself walk back a couple times, back and forth, just to see what kind of space starts to show up as you move through the two sides. Again, noticing where that spot is when you know that you're letting yourself go and letting gravity pull you. Have the ability to recognize the support that the arms and feet are providing and using them to let yourself have the movements completed by you and you alone. It's not just gravity that's doing the job. So one last time to the right, one last time to the left. And then we'll reach ourselves all the way back to the middle. Now see what starts to begin to happen. Maybe you need a cushion or a block here to grab your hands, or maybe you start to notice that you can fold a little bit further forward now, dropping the elbows back. So almost so much that if your hands were at your feet, the elbows can start to bend back and you can come forward. If the hands are on the floors, tuck those elbows in as you come forward. Great. And we're going to take ourselves back up. So let the hands come back to the feet or the shins if they're not there. And we'll roll up our spine, everybody. So we're rolling, we're rolling, we're rolling, tucking your chin, keeping that chin down until the very last moment when you're upright and completely standing upright. Excellent job. Walk your feet into one another and come stand back into our mountain. Soften the shoulders down. Let the fingertips draw down towards the floor. Relaxing here in our mountain pose for just a moment. Now take your arms and reach them up towards the sky. And if this doesn't feel good in your body, you can definitely have your arms further apart or bend at those elbows and come to some goal post arms. So decide where that feels best in your body. Play with the different angles. It doesn't matter. I'm not asking you specifically where to put them. So just play with where would feel good for you. And then from here, spread your fingers nice and wide apart. And you might just start to move the arms a little bit. So if they're here, they can move like so. If they're up here, they can move like so. If they're up high, they might move like so. So just see if there's movement when we're moving the arm bone in that shoulder socket. Or do all three like me. You can play around here and what you'd like to do. Good. And then stretch one more last time. And then we'll all meet into those cactus arms. So find those cactus arms. Elbows are about shoulder height. Wrists stacked over the elbows. Maybe take a couple more movements to find yourself there. Excellent. From here, draw the arms in. Let the hands connect, and then maybe the elbows come all the way in towards each other. They may have a slight space, but see if you can draw them in. This is quite a tremendous stretch on the upper back. Good, and then open them up nice and wide. And then close them all the way back in, drawing the arms in, kissing the arms together, and then let them come all the way back out. Good, we'll do that one more time. Bring those hands all the way in. And then from here, see if you can tuck the elbows down and then let them rise up. So a side view here is dropping down and up. Small movement, may not be very large in your body. That's okay. See if those elbows can remain relatively close to each other or if they want to draw apart when you come up. That's possible too. Just listen to what your body feels like it can do today. And then the next time that those elbows go down, see if you can start to round, just like that cat position. Tuck the tail under, drop the chin, round the belly. See if you can round yourself around those arms. Thumbs may come to reside close to the forehead. And then we'll slowly allow that pelvis to press forward, lifting up, letting ourselves come back to the beginning. Let's do that 2 more times. Drop the elbows down, round through that spine. Connect the thumbs maybe to the forehead as you round forward. And then unwind here, lifting up through the feet. Rounding that back and lifting the arms up. Last time through, drop the elbows down, tuck the chin in, rounding ourselves all the way around, and then lifting yourself all the way back up. Open those arms back to those goalposts, and then drop them all the way down to your side. As we arrive back into mountain after we've done a little bit of work through those shoulders, step up towards the short end of your mat. So we'll step all the way up to the short end of our mat. We're going to bend now through the hips and through the knees. So start bending at your hip crease, dropping into the knees, and coming down into a chair position. From here, we'll just let the arms dangle at the sides. In this little chair position, we can now reach the arms back up to those goalpost arms if you'd like. So you can have your arms like so. You could also keep them down on the hips if you'd like. Just making sure that you keep your gaze forward. So decide where those arms are going to go into your chair. Good, and then release the arms and legs come all the way back up to standing. Let's do that again. Sink back into those hips, bend into the knees, draw those arms up into goalpost arms, sink down into that chair as you lift your heart forward. Take a couple breaths here and start to notice, do you feel still rooted in your feet? And then press into the feet, drop the arms down. One more time like this, and then we're changing it up. So have a seat down into your chair again, bend through those hips, coming to a place where you feel that you could hold it for some time here. Arms are going to come up to goal posts, noticing those shoulder blades on your back, just a gentle pull together, coming into that chair. Excellent. Standing up and dropping through. As I alluded to, we are adding on to this. So coming back to that chair, drop those hips back, bend through those knees, arms come to place. And then from here, we're going to step back with one of our legs, coming into a lunge position. Alrighty, everybody, strong through those legs, lift the heart and just come slightly into a back bend here, opening the heart forward. And then stacking the spine back up. We'll power up from that back leg and bring it all the way back to our chair. Sit into the chair for one full breath cycle and then press the legs, drop the arms down. Did we not just amp the ante there? Woo! That was some heat in that practice there. So we're doing it again because we've got to do the other side. So come sit back into that chair. Arms come into goalpost arms. This time we'll step back with the other leg, step the leg back into our high lunge. Slight chest opener as we arch our back here, opening the heart forward. Strong through those legs, root through the feet, and then stack ourselves back up over the pelvis, power up through that back leg, step forward to that chair, and then release, come back down. Lots of big movements, lots of arms and legs all coming together at once. So let's do it again. Coming up to the short end of your mat. You know where we're headed now. Coming into our chair. Sink down into your chair. Keep that chest lifted as you draw those goalpost arms out. Step back with the leg. Coming to our lunge. Slight back bend, open forward. Take a nice big breath in here. Let it all out. Step with the back leg, come forward, back to your chair, and then release and let go. One more time, everybody. Sit down into that chair, cactus arms. Step back with the other leg, lunge. Open the heart as you spread yourself forward here. Squeeze those shoulder blades gently, and then stack all the way back up. Power up to your back leg, come back to your chair. Release and come all the way back to standing. We'll all meet back again in our mountain pose, rooted, grounded in our feet. Can you hold yourself there for a moment and just take a pause and see how you feel? You may choose to open your hands nice and wide, spread those fingertips so that you have a nice, wide, welcoming mountain pose. We'll step back up to the short end of our mat here once more. Step on up. From here, let's reach the arms either to cactus arms again as we stand, or maybe reach them all the way to the sky. Take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, we're folding down. So drop the arms down as we bend through those hip creases. Let the torso come towards the thighs. Bend the knees as much as you need and let the hands catch wherever they can. Maybe shins, ankles, feet. Drop the head. So just like our wide-legged forward fold, now we're doing more of a narrow, traditional Utkatasana of our forward fold. It's a fancy word for forward fold. Good. Bend the knees quite generously and let your hands touch the floor. We'll step back with one foot, come down onto the knee, and step back with the other. And we'll arrive, all of us, into a hands and knees position, a tabletop. From here, kiss the big toes together, and we'll let the hips come all the way back. And we'll let them wiggle and jiggle maybe back to feel the glutes go back towards those heels. And then drop your head down, maybe supported on stacked hands, stacked fists, or if you want to come into an extended child's pose, hands can come up overhead as you let the forehead kiss the mat. Take a couple pauses here to breathe. And then allow your hands to lift you up. Press down into those shins to bring yourself back to a tabletop position. I'll let you slide the legs off to one side and we'll come into a comfortable seated position on the floor. If this isn't available to you, you might even want to sit in a chair. That's no problem at all. So whatever cross position feels good, if this doesn't feel good, you're welcome to bring your legs out in front of you or even just have them open in a diamond shape here. Whatever feels good for you to sit. And we'll just finish off here with just a little bit of a twist. So bring your hands to your heart center. Thumbs can kiss back into that breastbone. Middle finger can come right underneath the chin. Sit up nice and tall out of your spine. And when you're ready, we'll start to twist towards our right, allowing ourselves to move right from that belly button. Think about the belly button moving you as you turn the spine all the way. So we're keeping our chin right over top of the breastbone as best we can. So we rotate and then come all the way back to the center, and then we'll twist all the way to our left. Allowing yourself to find the freedom of your movement here. No need to force anything or push anything that doesn't need to be pushed. Start to listen to the abdomen. It's what's driving the movement. Good, and come back to the center. Excellent. This time through, as we start to twist to the right, I'd like you to do the same thing. Once you feel like you've reached the spot that you're going to twist to, then you can release the hands. The left hand can come on the outside of the right leg. Your left hand can come just out to the side. And rather than pulling yourself there, see if the torso can take you a little bit further now. The chin may start to look over the back shoulder. So again, use the abdomen to twist you here, not necessarily the arms or the hands. And then slowly unwind yourself. Hands will come back to the chin, fingers connecting underneath here. We'll twist all the way to our left. Twist and twist and twist. And when you feel like you have gone as far as you want, then you can take your right hand on the outside of the left thigh. Left hand can come down to the floor and we can twist a little bit deeper, maybe. But again, driving from the abdomen, rotating around from the middle, not from my hands. Head may turn and look over the back shoulder, and I'll get to see my sidekick, Mr. Harrison. He's been in quite a few other videos on my YouTube channel here, so you might want to check him out. He's kind of quiet today, not doing a whole heck of a lot, just hanging out and observing. Maybe he's celebrating his own way for International Yoga Day. Good, and then slowly unwind yourself. Excellent. Now take your right hand to the floor, We'll take our left hand up to the sky, reach on up, and then slowly walk the torso over to your right, keeping the arm still straight overhead. This top arm hasn't done anything at all. It's just gone where it's been told to go. Good, and then from here, see if you can find a little bit of movement from your shoulder joint as we allow ourselves to twist open just a little bit further. Good, gaze down towards your mat. And then we'll reach the hands and cartwheel them over to the other side. So your right hand goes straight to the sky. Left hand walks you out into the side twist. Here's the movement here. Notice what's happening as we rotate our rib cage around our shoulder here. There are connected pieces in the body. And then look down towards the floor. And then reach up and back to the center. Loop your shoulders up, back, and down a couple times just to bring some extra movement to those shoulders before we finish our little International Day of Yoga practice to get you moving and celebrating the practice of yoga. We'll bring our hands all the way to the heart center, bring the thumbs to the breastbone, and let's take 3 deep breaths as we let our gaze come down towards those fingertips. Take a nice big inhale and exhale. Let it come 3 times. As we start to close our practice today, I invite you to consider incorporating yoga in the rest, the other 365 days of the year. There are so many wonderful benefits of the physical practice of yoga, using our breath and movement to help us find some more stillness in our lives. So I wish you a happy International Day of Yoga. The light in me sees the light in all of you. Namaste.